I never should have gone to that bar. It was a Friday night. I just wanted a nice drink to end off the week. I never could have thought that it would end this way. I walked in and scanned the room. The place was almost dead. Just me and a few old guys at the bar, and this one group of two in the back corner. I didn't think anything of them at first. Just another couple that wanted a drink. I should have been more wary. When I sat down and ordered my drink, I tried to find something to focus on. The TV was just static, and my phone was almost dead. So I let my mind wander around the room. I eventually settled on listening to the small snippets of conversations. Before you judge me, I know that eavesdropping is rude, but I've never really cared too much. If I didn't do anything with it, there's no harm done, right? I suppose I was wrong, but it doesn't matter now. Anyway, after listening to the hushed conversations at the bar for a bit, I settled on the conversation somewhere to my right side. It wasn't that interesting at first. It just sounded like a couple telling each other how their day went. But eventually, it got strange. I think I went from absent-mindedly listening to paying full attention to the conversation when I heard the woman say, "I think the neighbors are getting suspicious." Now, more interested with the drink in hand, I somewhat covertly moved from the bar to the booth next to theirs. I tried masking my intentions by pretending to look at the music choice in the old jukebox on my way there. In hindsight, I'm sure I looked like an idiot, but in my head, I was thinking, and the Oscar goes to this guy. I wish I could still be that optimistic. After I sat down, I could hear them much more clearly. I knew that choosing that house was a bad idea. Nosy neighbors were almost guaranteed. Calm down, Rick. Do you want everyone in the bar to find us out? Okay, fine, Amy. Let's just go home, dig them up, and get the heck out of this town. This was where I made mistake one of many. I choked. It wasn't that loud or noticeable, but it was enough. Their conversation abruptly stopped, leaving me feeling extremely conspicuous. Without finishing or paying for my drink, I slowly got up and left the bar, positive that the both of them were staring at me. All I did was sit in my car. I didn't know what to do. Call the police? And say what? That I heard a spooky conversation in a bar? For all I know, they could have been talking about their pets. Before I could decide, I saw them come out of the bar. They weren't running, but I could tell that they were in a hurry, and they looked very paranoid. My only clear thought was, follow them. That was mistake number 2. Following them home was quite an ordeal. I had to stay far enough behind them to not make them more suspicious, but close enough to not lose them. I thought that I had indeed lost them a couple of times, but eventually they pulled into a driveway. All I could think to do was park down the street and wait. So I waited and waited and waited. I didn't even realize I had fallen asleep, but I woke up to headlights in my face. Their car was leaving. That was my chance. After they turned off the street, I got out of my car and ran up to the house. Peeking into the windows didn't get me anywhere. as they were all covered by thick curtains, so I decided to try my luck with the back windows or back door and jump the fence. That's when I remembered why I was there. Dig them up. If I was going to find anything, it wouldn't be inside. Mistake number 3. I started scanning the backyard for anything strange. The huge hole, caught my eye immediately. Dig them up. That line played over and over again in my head with each step closer. Dig, dig, dig. It could have been anything. A pair of dogs, a bunch of plants, a hidden cash box. My imagination was going crazy. I wish it was one of those. But when I stepped up to the hole, my worst fear was realized. Bodies. Human bodies. 2 of them, lying next to each other in a shallow grave. That wasn't the worst part, though. It was them. It was Rick and Amy, the 2 I'd overheard in the bar. I couldn't move. They were dead, long dead, but I had just seen them. It couldn't be real. None of it. I told myself to move, run, scream, anything. But I didn't move. I didn't speak. And that was my last mistake. My senses were dulled. But I still heard. I still heard when the back door opened. I still heard every step on the dying grass behind me. And I still heard Rick. Except it wasn't the same Rick. A deep, harsh Rick. A Rick that probably wouldn't be Rick for much longer. Well, I guess your rudeness doesn't stop at eavesdropping. Better for me, I guess. Now I only need one more for Amy. For me, you'll do just fine. I didn't look at him. I couldn't look at him. All I could do was hear. All I could do was hear him take one final step. Then I woke up on my bed, in my house, my phone blaring. It was just a dream. A dream. I don't think I've ever been more thankful to wake up in my life. After getting my bearings, I decided to see what all the ringing was about. Picking my phone up, I saw that I had several missed calls and texts from coworkers. Coworkers wondering where I was. I was confused until I looked at the calendar on my phone and saw it was Wednesday. It had been 5 days. I couldn't figure out what I was doing for the whole 5 days without remembering it. But I guess I didn't really have much time to think. That's when it walked into my room. Ah, you're finally awake, Jimbo. Can I call you Jimbo? Actually, do other people call you Jimbo? I'm supposed to be taking notes. I backed into the corner, horrified. Whatever, I'll figure it out eventually. Hopefully, I can keep this one longer than I kept Rick. Doesn't matter too much to you though. I mean Clarissa, is looking for a nice deep hole for you to call home. As for me, I'll be taking my phone and going to my job. See you in the mirror, Jimbo. And that's how I ended up here. I found an old phone under my bed so I'm using that to record this video. I just heard a car pull up. I think Amy, or whoever she is now, is back. To the people who see this, who might know me, don't trust it. It may look like me. It may talk like me. Hell, it probably sits at my desk and taps its pen exactly like me. But it's not me. To everyone else, be careful whose conversations you decide to listen to.